to ask. She said, D, why is it that guys get inconsistent once they get what they say that they wanted? Why is it that they do all of this, that, and the other, begging, pleading, or love bombing, or taking you on dates, trips, whatever, to get you? And then once they got you, they don't do what's necessary to keep you. Now, this comment was actually on a video that I did where I talked about one of the quickest ways to fumble the bag. And by bag, I'm not talking about money, fellas. I'm talking about a good woman. That's the real bag. And that way was to be inconsistent. So let me say this. It ain't like every time that a guy gets inconsistent, you just need to go ahead, pack your bags, close up shop, leave them. Because I honestly believe there are legitimate reasons why a guy may be up and down in terms of his presence, mentally or physically in a relationship. So I don't want to make this cookie cutter. But I will give you a couple of reasons. First off, understand something. There's two different types of inconsistency. You got the type of inconsistency where a man is off and on. Like, it's like one day he's lit, the next day he's ice cold. And then you got the type of inconsistency where a dude is applying pressure and then boom, just falls off. Maybe y'all in a relationship now, maybe y'all are married now or whatever, and he hasn't taken you on a date in 6 months, 6 years. He hasn't bought you a rose. He hasn't run a bubble bath or anything like that. So let me tell you when you don't need to go and have no conversation. When we're talking about the first type of inconsistency, he's just kind of on and off, hot and cold, it's up and down. One reason why he may be doing that is because he's breadcrumbing you. And we've talked about breadcrumbing before. If you don't know what breadcrumbing is, here's a quick recap. It's a manipulative tactic used by somebody who is basically trying to give you just enough to keep you hanging on. That's what breadcrumbing is in a nutshell. There's more to it, but essentially whenever and the reason why a person would breadcrumb you, a guy would breadcrumb you, and women do this as well. But the reason why is because he knows he's going to try to stay on your mind whenever he's going through those gaps of presence with you. Like, so in the time when he's not texting you back, calling you, taking you on a date, he may go 2 or 3 weeks and you barely get a 2-word text or something like that. He ain't completely ghost, but then boom, all of a sudden he wants to take you on a helicopter trip. He wants to talk on the phone for hours. He wants to take you on a nice dinner date. He has a thoughtful gift. He's doing those things to stay on your mind in the time when he's not doing anything. That's just enough to keep the doubt there so that you don't go anywhere. That's kind of a breadcrumb, like just enough where you can't definitively say, okay, he's giving me nothing. And then it gives more, validation to whatever reason that he's given. It's like, hey, I rock with you because, I take you on dates or, when we talk, it's just like we got so much chemistry. We can talk for hours. But then he's not doing it consistently enough, and it's like making you think like, well, which one is it? I'm getting one type of vibe whenever we are engaging with each other, but then it's like I'm not on your mind for the next week, 2 weeks, a month, or whatever. That's a manipulative tactic to keep you strung along with minimal effort after he initially kind of hooks you in. All right. The second reason why a guy may be up and down and hot and cold, that kind of inconsistent, is because he's trying to manage your expectations to keep you from getting too invested into the relationship. Now, this one is a little less malicious. It's just more passive. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you still have to be very mindful about this. But what a guy will do is he'll try to kind of soothe his own conscience about what he's getting from you by keeping your feelings at bay. In the way that he'll keep your feelings at bay, he may tell you, hey, look, I'm not looking for anything serious, da-da-da-da. But if he feels like you're starting to latch on, if he feels like you're getting too close for comfort, what he'll do is he'll pull back, but just enough to where you reset your expectations of him. You're not expecting a good morning text every morning. You're not expecting a good night text or a good night call. You're not expecting to catch up on your day at the end of the day. Like, he'll do that just to kind of like, okay, let me throttle what she's expecting to get from me. And therefore, if she's down for a mutually convenient here and there type of situationship, we lit. But if not, then she can go ahead and move on. And I say, if you're looking for something real and something like this happens again, this is not time for a conversation. This is not time for a reality check or whatever. No ultimatum. Just go ahead and leave. Now, again, there's a whole nother type of inconsistent, and this is the one I think hurts the most because this happens more so in serious relationships where a guy will put forth pressure, he will put forth effort, and then just drop off the side of the earth. right? And when I say pressure, I'm not talking about literally pressuring you as a figure of speech for simply making it clear, abundantly clear, that he wants you, only you. But then all of a sudden he falls off. The first reason may be because his attention is spread too thin. His attention is spread too thin. He has too many options. He's still considering options even after getting into a relationship with you. And what happens is it's like shelving type of thing goes on. And the reason why a guy will shelve a woman or have his attention spread thin is because he's keeping himself from getting too invested. If he has just one woman and that's where all his attention goes for romantic needs, for friendship needs, for sex needs, for money needs, and yes, some guys out here, only say some, it's a growing number of dudes out here who are using women for their money. Let's just keep it all the way real. A dude will have multiple women just to try to keep himself from getting too deep in with one woman. It's kind of the reverse of what I was saying earlier, but it's the same thing. So what he'll do is put you on the shelf. Once he got you, he puts you on the shelf. Now, something similar is what a guy will do what I call when he's addicted to milk. Y'all know the saying, why buy the cow if he gonna get the milk for free? I always say it's because he's supposed to love the doggone cow. But what happens is a lot of guys are in love with the milk. They're just addicted to the milk. And in this scenario, I'm saying milk is basically whatever it is that you do for him. Cook, clean, fold his clothes, validate him, give him compliments to boost his ego, money, like we talked about before, sex, whatever the milk is, the things that you do, if a man is just addicted to that, that's all he's in love with, he'll never get enough. It don't matter if he gets in a relationship with you or married with, like, it'll never be enough. And you see guys like this with an insatiable appetite for milk, for just somebody, because look, here's the thing, you're human. You're human. So that means you're not going to be nearly as available to him as 10 women, right? So once he gets you as a spout of milk, so to speak, and that's what he's addicted to, he's going to get others. And as he gets others, there's no way that he can be fully for you because he's addicted to the milk. And this is why whenever you ask a guy, what do you like about me? What do you love about me? And all he can name are the things that you do, that's a red flag. Doesn't mean he has malicious intentions. No, he may be just addicted to milk. He needs to be able to answer with who you are as a woman. That's what he can't find nowhere else. You can find milk anywhere. If it's a man, you can find a woman to cook, clean. You can find a woman to give you whatever sexual needs that you need. You can find that anywhere. But as far as your specific characteristics that make you who you are, your spirit, your energy, your soul, you know, that unique combination of who you are is only in one package. Out of all the billions of people on the world, it's only in you. So when you ask a man, what do you like about me, love about me, etc., and all he can name is the things that you do, again, I'm not saying automatically cut him off if his answer ain't perfect, but I am saying that's a red flag. He's not deep in enough to the right aspects of you. He just appreciates kind of what you do, right? And in both situations, and this is where I need you guys to understand so you don't personalize when this is happening. In both situations with that man, it's one of two things going on. Either a capacity problem or a focus problem. Capacity problem being, you know, again, it's never enough. It doesn't matter what you pour. It's almost like a bottomless cup. It's just a broken cup. You can pour the best of the best and it's still going to go out the other way as if nothing got poured into him in the beginning. And the reason why I say this is because so many of y'all try to fix this situation by giving a person more of what they're already wasting. Like, okay, you're wasting my love. Let me give you even more as a way to convince you not to waste it. That is the exact opposite of what you need to do. Not that you ever need to play the game to get somebody to appreciate your love, but if you're going to do anything, it needs to be to retract. If they don't feel its absence, they didn't respect or appreciate its presence. So whenever a man is inconsistent because of capacity, again, he's broken or he's addicted or whatever the case may be. The last thing you need to do, once you recognize this, is to give even more. Go even harder. Try to inspire him to be more healthy. It don't work like that. And then again, the other issue may be his focus. Now, this is what I consider to be a matter of maturity or evolution in terms of his mentality and where he's at. Just on a, like, not even a character level in terms of his intentions, but character level in terms of his development. Because we all know character is more than just a person's desires and intentions. It's also a person's development to be able to apply whatever it is they intend in action form on a consistent basis. And this is why I'm a big fan of evolved men, not good men, but evolved men. Because so many times we come across a person, and if we recognize good intentions, we know at heart this person ain't a bad dude. Like, he ain't a bad person, right? But when we look at evolved men, we look at men who have the experiences, the mentorship, they have the blueprint, whether from childhood or whoever it is that they learned from about how to be a man in a relationship to a woman. They have the tools necessary that they've gathered over the years to be able to show up with more than just good intentions, because good intentions don't save you from a broken heart. Now, if he has a focus problem, it's basically like every new thing will intrigue him and excite him. You can like, no matter how beautiful you are, you can never be new for long. You only gonna be new for that long. So if he's still hooked on newness because he's never learned to appreciate something that's consistent, something that can weather the storm and that kind of thing, again, that man is not on your level of evolution, if that's what you're looking for, by the way. Now, if you're the type of woman and you're coming across guys who are not on your level of evolution in terms of, again, experiences, mentality, all that kind of stuff, click the link that you see pinned right here down in the comments. That will give you access to a free masterclass that I did, giving you strategies on how to attract evolved men who are already evolved. So you're not in here being nobody's tutor or teaching nobody how to grow up and be the man that he presented himself as. If you're tired of even trying to do that or frustrated because that's the position you've been put in and expected to do, click this link right here, get access, register for the free masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. The link is also in the caption whenever you back out. If you have not gotten access to that class, you probably see somebody comment right now. That is one of the best masterclasses I've ever done, and the only masterclass I've seen that teaches you how to get men who have the right mindset to take care of your heart over the long term. Not high value men, which is just guys who have a lot of options, but men who are high in character. They're high quality men. Again, that link is right here down in the caption. But back to what I was saying. The reason why a man is going to get inconsistent rarely has anything to do with you. Are there exceptions? Absolutely. But 9 times out of 10 is something that doesn't have to do with you unless you try to invest yourself in fixing something that you never broke to begin with. And anytime you try to fix something that you were not responsible for breaking, and really you should not be responsible for trying to fix, you're the next one that's going to need fixing. So be very careful about that. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think. If you got something from this conversation, share this right now for somebody else on your timeline. Bless them as well. Don't be stingy. Click the little arrow or whatever you see down there in the corner. Share this right now for somebody else. And if you're in the market for an evolved man, click that link that's pinned right here before that class comes down. Again, it's absolutely free. Put your money away. Get the link, get access to Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You so you can end the pattern in your own life of dealing with people who are underqualified.